Project ideas really come from any number of sources. Any cost, quality, or delivery problems, of course, are always can be the focus or the source of potential projects. Organizational or leadership objectives, employee ideas, value stream map, personal objectives. But in addition to these, you can also use a business assessment process, or what we call a BAP, leadership goals, as I just mentioned, customer needs, and so forth. So there's really an endless supply of potential projects. Now, on the project charter itself, spend some time looking at the charter and looking through the charter. And one of the most important things you're going to do for your project is, in fact, the charter. And I can't emphasize this enough, because I've seen so many project teams that want to get off and running, pressure from management to go fix things, and so forth, that they end up overlooking some of the fundamentals. So here are some of the things that I think are important on the charter. Now, obviously, not all of this is important, but I would like you to spend some time thinking about the problem. Make sure you understand the problem. Make sure you can articulate it. If you can't articulate it, use the is not tool. That's a great tool for articulating complex problems. Understand and talk through and agree on how the problem is going to be measured, what the current baseline of that measurement is. Be careful in selecting the teams and the team members. You want to use the SIPOC method, so you want people who are in the process, are experts in the process. You want people on the team who provide input to the process, and you also want people on the team who are customers of the process. So using that SIPOC type model is a great way to build a team. And then, of course, any other support personnel that you need, IT, HR, and so forth. Also, think through the timeline. The rule of thumb is for each phase, if you don't develop a project plan, each phase, give it about a month or so. Also the scope, and be very, very careful on the scope. Think about the scope and get agreement on the scope. And I would say spend about 1 day on the charter, not much more than that, and certainly not less than that, but about a day is right for a charter. And then, of course, have your charter signed by the champion, the process owner, and then anybody else in leadership that you think, as a stakeholder that will be interested in the project. The reason I do this is because you want to get agreement from leadership on what it is the team's going to do. And by having that up front, as a scope may tend to creep during the project, you can pull the charter out and refer back to it and say, no, the agreed scope is A, B, and C. And then once the charter is finished, I wouldn't spend any time amending the charter after the project is launched. Some teams and some organizations do that. I don't tend to find it so useful. Things will change, certainly. There are lots of things you don't know when you launch the project that you're going to learn throughout the project, and that will end up amending some of the assumptions you made. I wouldn't go back and change the charter. If you want to, of course, there's nothing wrong with it, but to me it's really not time well spent here. So use it as a way to get you focused and in the right direction, and after that then we get on with executing on the project itself.